Who'll be the lady, who will be the Lord, when we are ruled by the love of one another? Who'll be the lady, who will be the Lord, in the light that is coming in the morning? Sing John Ball and tell it to 'em all. Long live the day that is dawning, for I'll crow like a cock and I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. Eve is the lady, Adam is the Lord, when we are ruled by the love of one another. Eve is the lady, Adam is the Lord, in the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to 'em all. Long live the day that is dawning, for I'll crow like a cock and I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. All shall be ruled by fellowship, I say. All shall be ruled by the love of one another. All shall be ruled by fellowship, I say, in the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to 'em all. Long live the day that is dawning, for I'll crow like a cock and I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. All shall be ruled by fellowship, I say. All shall be ruled by the love of one another. All shall be ruled by fellowship, I say, in the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to 'em all. Long live the day that is dawning, for I'll crow like a cock and I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. You see, I was going to go for the repeat and shout.
Yeah, but you started slowing down.
You started showing down. Oh. Marilla's now going to sing you something while I go and fetch the cold water.
And this is one what I did writ in Tasmania, so the South Island of Australia. And I was on Bruny Island, which is off the east coast of Tasmania, which means there's nothing between you and the Antarctic, and it's quite cold. And so we have what is called a lazy wind. So a lazy wind is when the wind can't be bothered going around you, it goes straight through you. So I wrote this song. That lazy wind, it blows right through me. That lazy wind howling through my heart. That lazy it's tearing me apart. It leaves me with shivers, but not like the ones you gave me the last time I saw you. It leaves me as numb as I felt as I lay so still on the ground there before you. Too long it has been since I lay with a man with love on his mind, not a butchery, and the wind stings my eyes, nearly leaving me blind from the tears it rips from my body. That lazy wind, it leaves me lonely. That lazy wind chills me to the bone. my soul. I stand on the beach looking out at the sea. The waves keep rolling towards me. I think of the times I forgot to eat as the hunger gnaws at my body. Thoughtless and free by the edge of the sea, the daylight is fading to green, and I ponder the clouds and the rainbow it shrouds as the birds chatter on all around me. That lazy wind, it blows right through me. That lazy wind howling through my heart. That lazy wind blows out the cobwebs, fresh for a new start. That lazy wind.
Fantastic. Right, there's a glass of water.
Thank you.
And, so how have you been? Now you're back.
I am very happy to be home. And I took a while to figure out what my new routine might be.
Right.
So I shall be doing lots more singing.
Yeah.
And as much as I can get, hopefully.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger, journeying through this world of woe, but there's no sickness, toil, nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there no more to roam. I am just going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I know dark clouds will gather on me. I know my way is rough and steep, but beauteous fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed the vigils keep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'll meet me when I come. I am just going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I want to wear that crown of glory when I come home in that bright land. I want to shout salvation's story in concert with that blood-washed band. I'm going there to meet my Saviour, to sing his praise forevermore. I am just going over Jordan. I'm only going to sing his praise forevermore. I am just going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I'm only going over home.
This song that Mark has suggested is by Canadian songwriter James Keelahan, and it's about a historic thing that happened in an event that happened in America in the 40s. And I learned, when I first heard this, I was a firefighter in Melbourne with the Country Fire Authority, the CFA. I was with them for nearly 12 years. So was around when we had the 2009 firestorm and all those sorts of things, which was prior, so Black Saturday, prior to this recent one. And I heard this song sung a cappella by Mandy Connell in Australia at the singing sessions. So it's an Australian singing it in England about an event in America written by a Canadian. So there you go. Cold Missouri Waters. My name is Dodge, but then you know that it's written on the chart there at the foot end of my bed. They think I'm blind, that I can't read it, but I've read it every word, and every word it says is death. So confession, is that the reason that you came? Get it off my chest before I check out of the game. Well, since you mention it, well, there's 13 things I'll name. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri waters. August 49, North Montana. The hottest day on record, and the forest tinder dry. Lightning strikes in the mountains. I was crew chief at the jump base. I prepared the boys to fly. Pick the drop zone. C-47 comes in low. Feel a tap upon your leg that tells you when to go. See the circle of the fire down below. 15 of us dropped above the cold Missouri waters. I gauged the fire, I'd seen bigger, so I ordered them to side hill and we'd fight it from below. We'd have our backs to that river. We'd have it licked by morning, even if we took it slow. But the fire crowned jumped the valley just ahead. There was no way down. We'd have to fight that slope instead. Too big to fight it. Ran for the rocks above instead. Flames one step behind, above the cold Missouri waters. Sky had turned red, smoke was boiling. 200 yards to safety, death was 50 yards behind. I don't know why, I just thought it. I struck a match to waist-high grass, running out of time. Tried to tell them, step into this fire, I said. We can't make it, this is the only chance you'll get. But they cursed me, ran for the rocks above instead. I lay face down and prayed above the cold Missouri waters. And when I rose like the phoenix, in that world reduced to ashes, there were none but two survived. I stayed that night, and one day after, carried bodies to the river, wondered how I'd stayed alive. 13 stations of the cross to mark their fall. I've had my say, I'll confess to nothing more. I'll join them now, since they left me long before. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri waters. 13 crosses high above the cold Missouri shore. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Oh, rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, we're bound away, across the wide Missouri. There we go.
That sounded fantastic. So how did you, I can't remember if we did this, how did you find folk music? What was your route into it?
Well, I first trained as an opera singer,
Uh-huh.
and I was quite an arrogant young opera singer who really did think that anything that wasn't opera wasn't right, proper or
Right.
otherwise. I have learnt.
You've since learned the error of your ways.
And when I was at university, I like that one, Marion. When I was at university studying music at Melbourne University, I joined the Melbourne University Horse Riding Club.
Right.
And we went trail riding, and we would do things like a half-day ride or a full-day ride or a weekend ride or a week ride, depending on what we felt like doing. And so I have a bunch of very lovely friends still, this couple of decades later, who I met at university, one of whom is called Liam, or Cuz, and he kept saying, you really should come down to this singing session, you'd really love it. And I hadn't really got into going to pubs, and I was living out of town, and the session was in town, and it was all too hard. And then I moved
It's a
house.
great problem with transport, which is why lots of
Especially in
sing-arounds don't have young people at them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I moved closer to town, as in Melbourne, and Liam said, "You have no excuse now. The Dan O'Connell will now be your local. You have to come down on a Sunday night." And Dan O'Connell Hotel at that point in Carlton, unfortunately, has now been sold and become a community school. At least it's still in the community.
Yeah.
But at that point, the publican was a lovely man from Cork.
Right.
Who would sing from behind the
Right.
bar. And so they were proper Irish singing sessions
Yeah.
in an Irish pub
An actual Cayley.
in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And so there were, there's, at that point in time, you could go to at least one, if not multiple, Irish sessions or other folky sessions every night of the week somewhere in Melbourne. So that was less of them now, unfortunately. Obviously, even less now. There's more online now, I suspect. But anyway. So yes, that's how I came to folk singing.
It must have been a shock. Because, I mean, opera singing is fabulous, but it doesn't necessarily work that well in a pub.
Well, an aria does.
Yeah.
But anyway, I overheard a conversation at the folk festival of a violinist explaining, and it rings true for singing as well, but he was explaining that he was on the road to becoming a virtuoso soloist.
Yeah.
As in the classical scheme of things, and he went to a session or a festival or something, and he realised that despite all of his training, he had nothing to offer.
Yeah.
Because he did not have the skill set to improvise, to join in, to pick up by ear, etc. And so he realised that actually he was missing out on a heck of a lot of stuff. And therefore, he's now a folky and not a virtuoso violinist.
We kind of have that. A friend of mine had this theory about it. I'm not going to get a song in before Jill arrives. It's just the way it is. And he reckoned that it was essentially the invention of the concerto and the kind of large force orchestra that meant that instrumentalists, instead of being primarily improvisers, if you Paganini's variations, Bach, lots of his stuff is fixed form, but he was a great improviser. And then the big orchestra came in. It became really important that the whole orchestra would stick to the dots in front of them. So the training schools became about training people to play well in an orchestra. And sort of forgot or put to one side the improvisation, because they thought that if you were sufficiently great that you were going to be a soloist, you would just pick up improvisation like a duck to water, which is not true, because improvisation is a muscle in exactly the same way as remembering songs is, or remembering tunes, or just the business of playing. And if you don't have the experience of improvising, of going wrong and working out how to come back and all that kind of stuff, you don't. You can't just turn it on. You just. But lots of people could once upon a time.
And the other thing is with cadenzas, that whoever was the most well-known, famous person of the day would. Yeah. They'd have the music written for them. They would create their preferred cadenza. That would then be notated, and everyone would try to copy them.
Yes.
So now, 100, 200 years down the track, we're all trying to copy what someone else did because it suited their voice. Yeah.
And actually, what you ought to be doing is pulling a, Jimi Hendrix or whatever, and you've got, here you go, you've got 24 bars, do something.
It's another American song by Cheryl Wheeler. It's called Summerfly, and it's on Inner Whirl and Settler's Wife, if you want two different versions of it. Both with instruments, as opposed to this. In another younger day, I could dream the time away in the universe inside my room. And the world was really mine from June to September. And if it wasn't really so, I was lucky not to know, I was lucky not to wonder why. 'cause a pure and golden high is all that I remember. A summer fly was buzzing every night when I was young in the gentle world my childlike senses knew, and the world was just my cousin, and the wind was just the tongue in the voice my lonely moments listened to. Now I look at me today, all my dreams have gone away, and I'm where I never thought I'd be, seeing things I never thought I'd see happen to me. Now I lay awake at night till the darkness goes to light, hearing voices calling out my name, droning over again the same message to me, crying, who's your partner, who's your darling, who's your baby now, who wakes up at night to pull you in. It don't matter, you just make her lonely anyhow, don't know why you even try to win. In another younger day I could dream the time away in the universe inside my room, and the world was really mine from June to September. If it wasn't really so, I was lucky not to know, I was lucky not to wonder why, 'cause a pure and golden high is all that I remember. A summer fly was buzzing every night when I was young in the gentle world my childlike senses knew, and the world was just my cousin, and the wind was just the tongue in the voice my lonely moments listened to. Now I look at me today, all my dreams are gone away, and I'm where I never thought I'd be, seeing things I never thought I'd see happen to me. Now I lay awake at night till the darkness goes to light, hearing voices calling out my name, droning over again the same message to me, crying, who's your partner, who's your darling, who's your baby now, who wakes up at night to pull you in. It don't matter, you just make her lonely anyhow, don't know why you even try to win, crying, who's your partner, who's your darling, who's your baby now, who wakes up at night to pull you in. It don't matter, you just make her lonely anyhow, don't know why you even try to win, don't know why you even try to win, don't know why you even try to win.
Yay! Bravo, bravo! Bravo! Encore, encore!
Encore!
Encore une fois! That's fabulous. Where's that from? I know you told them, but I
Cheryl
didn't hear.
Wheeler, who is a songwriter from and performer from America.
All right. Cool. Grand song.
Tis a lovely one. Shall I sing an Ella song?
Yeah,
Or a
go
song
on.
I learnt from
Yeah.
the singing of the wonderful Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald said the best thing I've ever heard about singing. Someone asked her, Ella, what's the best thing after singing? And she thought about it for a moment. She said, best thing about after singing, more singing.
All right. So this
Sticks
is
with you, that one. You're never going to forget that one.
more singing, more singing. And on that note, so this is actually a song written by Sonny Burke and Paul Webster.
Right.
I'm feeling mighty lonesome. Haven't slept a wink. I walk the floor and watch the door, and in between I drink black coffee. Love's a hand-me-down brew. I've never known a Sunday in this weekday room. I'm talking to the shadows, 1 o'clock till 4. And Lord, how slow the moments go, and all I do is pour black coffee. Since the blues caught my eye, I'm hanging out on Monday, my Sunday dreams to dry. They say a man is born to go loving, a woman's born to weep and fret, to stay at home and tend her oven, and drown her past regrets in coffee and cigarettes. I'm mooning all the morning, morning all the night, and in between it's nicotine and not much heart to fight. Black coffee, feeling low as the ground, waiting for my baby to one day come around. My nerves have gone to pieces and my hair is turning grey. All I do is drink black coffee since my mind's gone away.
Whoa! That was fantastic. What a great song.
It's brilliant.
Well
black
sung.
coffee. Yeah.
Good friends from whom we soon must part. Where are we bound? Your hands and voices lift my heart. Here is my home. Come darkness, come light. Where are we bound? Come morning, come night. Here is my home. For those who work in harmony, where are we bound? Can learn to live in unity. Here is my song. Where are we bound? Our hearts will live when we are gone. Here is my home. Come darkness, come light. Where are we bound? Come morning, come night. Here is my home. For the spirit that finds music here, where are we bound? We'll live forever in the air. Here is my home. Come darkness, come light. Where are we bound? Come morning, come night. Here is my home. Come darkness, come light. Where are we bound? Come morning, come night. Here is my home. There you go. Psychons. Oh, what a song. What a song.
Indeed.
Ah. Follow that.
Okay.
Very hard to follow size work, I always think.
I was going to sing a song which is kind of a protest song.
Cool.
And it's a historical one. We are finally going to Australia instead of America. And this was actually written by Alistair Hewlett, who was a Scotsman who'd moved to Australia. But in the 40s, the 1940s, many people from Europe took the job. There was a job advertisement.
The £10 pom thing.
No, to go and work in the mines.
Oh, right.
And particularly
Adjust the camera, bear with me.
the blue asbestos mine at Wittenoom.
Oh, shit.
And of course, they were not told that asbestos was not good for you. And so...
Very far from healthy.
Very far from healthy. And so we have a few friends that we know of who probably died unhappily from that. But certainly many hundreds of people suffered horrible deaths, and there was obviously a class action eventually for trying to get compensation. And so Alistair Hewlett wrote this quite amazing song from the perspective of the wife of one of the miners. So, I'm enjoying doing all this singing, but my voice needs to do more of it. It's out of practice.
Singing fitness is not quite what it should be.
No. It's not quite as rusty as it used to be. But anyway.
Well, you've been back and singing for a while, haven't you? Oh, that's better. Look, there's more of us. Although we do have to duck to see the whole screen on the teleprompter. So.
Right. So, yes, this is Alistair Hewlett's song, which I think you'll get the gist. There's a man in my him. His kisses used to take my breath away. There's a man in my bed, I hardly know him. As I wipe his cheek and hold his hand and watch him as he slowly fades away. He fades away, not like leaves that fall in autumn, turning gold against the grey. He fades away, like the bloodstains on the pillowcase that I wash every day. He fades away. There's a man in my bed, he's on a pension, although he's only 50 years of age. And the lawyers say he might get compensation in the course of due procedure, but they wouldn't say for certain at this stage. He fades away, not like leaves that fall in autumn, turning gold against the grey. He fades away, like the bloodstains on the pillowcase that I wash every day. He fades away. He's not the only one that made the trip so many years ago to work the Whitnum mine. So many young men old before their time and dying slow, they fade away. Wheezing bags of bones with lungs half clogged and filled with clay, they fade away. There's a man in my bed, nobody told him the cost of bringing home his weekly pay. And when the courts decide how much they owe him, how will he spend his money as he lies in bed and coughs his life away? He fades away, not like leaves that fall in autumn, turning gold against the grey. He fades away, like the bloodstains on the pillowcase that I wash every day. He fades away. There's a man in my bed, I used to love him. His kisses used to take my breath away. There's a man in my bed, I hardly know him. As I wipe his cheek and hold his hand and watch him as he slowly fades away.
Wow, what a song.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that first verse, you know it's not going to end well. Bloody hell. What an opening line. It just, yeah.
Yes, indeed. But that was a protest song, and I know you've got a protest song.
I've got a protest song about the very issue that we were just discussing. I've got two protest songs.
You do? Oh, excellent.
But this protest song is the one...
Oh, thanks, Shakti.
Hi, Shakti. Welcome to the stream. This is one about the... I've written more than two protest songs, but this is the one I can actually remember. This is one about this started off as a nice, joyous song about how great it's going to be when we can all come out of quarantine and see each other and sing together. And because I'm who I am, it just ended up angry.
Oh, I don't know that I've heard this.
It's got lots of repetition.
Okay.
Although, bless it, the chorus does change slightly every time, just because. But you'll be fine.
Fine, darling, fine.
It should be fine.
I've had the Pfizer, I'll be fine.
What's the worst thing that could possibly happen?
Meh, more singing.
More singing, absolutely, yeah. Whoa. How hard could it be? What a singing there will be in that day. Oh, what a singing there will be that sweet day. Oh, what a singing there will be when we can join in harmony. What a singing there will be in that day. Oh, we'll stay safe side in our homes until that day. Working on our mobile phones till that day. Oh, we'll stay safe side in our homes till the day it's safe to roam. What a singing there will be in that day. Oh, what a singing there will be in that day. Oh, what a singing there will be that sweet day. Oh, what a singing there will be when we can sing in company. What a singing there will be in that day. Stand up for the ones who save us every day.
Every day.
Doctors, nurses, braving dangers every day.
Every day.
And the ones who bring our shopping underpaid but never stopping. Don't forget 'em, stand together on that day. Oh, what a singing there will be in that day. Oh, what a singing there will be that sweet day. Oh, what a singing there will be when we can join in unity. What a singing there will be in that day. Shake the walls and bring down houses on that day.
On that day.
May they never more divide us anyway. For there isn't an excuse to hand them back the power they used to. What a reckoning there will be on that day. Oh, what a singing there will be in that day. What a singing there will be that sweet day. What a singing there will be when we unite in harmony. What a singing there will be in that day. Oh, what a singing there will be in that day. What a singing there will be that sweet day. Oh, what a singing there will be when we stand up in unity. What a singing there will be in that day. Yeah.
Nice song.
Thank you. Nick the tune.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So I'd better sing a chorus song, hadn't I?
That's probably not a bad idea. Yeah.
Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. Yes, indeed. And I can sell you some lovely organic stuff if you want. Right, so I'm going to sing a song that a lot of you have heard because it's Keep. But I was reminded when I got back to Australia, I did one gig with a couple of the guys from Housemen. And I got one, and we had a lovely time, and we did Keep. And we did it the way that it is on the Settler's Wife album. And the thing is that when I sing here, because I'm not a particularly confident or proficient instrumentalist, I just use my voice, it becomes a hymn, which, so that I do it slow enough so that people can learn it, then becomes a bit of a dirge. And it's beautiful, but it's very different. And I got to sing it with the guys from Marilla Homes and the Housemen, and I got to the end of it and went, oh, that's how I used to sing it. And they said, but that's how you taught us, that's how you wrote it, isn't it? It's like, yes, but nobody in England's heard it like that. So,
You're doing it at full clip this time.
I'm going to do it at full clip, so join in.
Right.
And I'm going to sort of go slightly wild at the end if I feel like it.
Brilliant.
Because I can. So yes, this is Keep that I wrote probably 2012, 2011, something like that. So it's about 10 years old now. And I wrote it the same time as I wrote Settler's Wife, the same night. And I was at a friend's place out in the bush, literally in a eucalypt forest, in a straw bale hut during high fire danger season. And it was quite fun to realise that I was surrounded, so it's a corrugated iron roof surrounded by sort of spinning wheels and bales of raw wool, and there was no electricity, so just candlelight. And I'd been reflecting on...
Candlelight must be challenging.
Well, I didn't burn the place down, so it was okay. Even though the town name is called Place of Burning, Wingelow means place of burning. And
Oh my God.
I should say, actually, that unfortunately they did lose some people this summer. So, but I wrote this 10 years ago when people had been fortunately safe. And so yes, I wrote Settler's Wife and Keep, and this is Keep. So I basically the first verse becomes the chorus for those of you joining in at home, and it's if you technically minded, the melody starts on the fifth. So actually, it's quite different. Keep the home fires burning. Keep the candles well alight. Keep the home fires burning. And keep your smile shining bright. Keep the joys and not the sorrows. Keep the lover, not the pain. Keep the hope of new tomorrows. And keep the lesson, not the shame. Keep the home fires burning. Keep the candles well alight. Keep the home fires burning. And keep your smile shining bright. Share the tears and the laughter. Share the ups and downs as well. Share the joy forever after. The fear of loneliness to quell. Keep the home fires burning. Keep the candles well alight. Keep the home fires burning. And keep your smile shining bright. Make the most of every moment. Make the best of every day.
Every day.
Make your life a true exponent of peace and love along the way. Keep the home fires burning. Keep the candles well alight. Keep the home fires burning. And keep your smile shining bright. Keep the home fires burning. Keep the candles well alight.
first time I've heard that lick. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Must be your turn.
I suppose it is, yeah. Taking advantage of the fact I've got a harmony singer here, I really ought to sing something with a harmony. Or two.
You don't have to. I've done a whole bunch that do.
Yeah, but...
and the other thing is, you'll probably start singing a song, and if it didn't have a harmony, I'll give it one.
Yeah. Well, it was a fortnight ago with Angeline. We got into the ballads and the doom, gloom and despondency and bad husbands. Yeah, we got heavily into the ballads. And we ended up singing, and we didn't have a chorus from pretty much about an hour in. And then we did 2 hours because we'd spent the first hour wrestling with crap internet and annoyingness. And yeah, we just sang ballad after ballad after ballad after ballad, and there was murder, there was horrific gaslighting, there was incest, there was more incest and more
proper
incest
folk songs,
and
then.
rape and murder. It was great.
Go on then.
But not really with a chorus.
No.
Pretty Betsy, don't fail, I will carry your pail, and it's down to your court we will go, for to hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below, as she sings in the valley below. Pray leave me alone, I have hands of my own, and along with you, sir, I'll not go, for to hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below, as she sings in the valley below. Pray sit yourself down with me on the ground, on this bank where the primroses grow, and you shall hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below, as she sings in the valley below. When he kept up this talk till he got kicked in the fork, and he fell where the stinging nettles grow, and she is still not afraid to walk in the shade nor go down in the valley below, nor go down in the valley below.
Yes.
No song you can't fix by changing the last verse. Or just leaving it off. Either's good.
True. And for those of you who don't know, Steel Songbirds is an a cappella duo with myself and Emily Eastwood. We came together as a duo when Emily basically tapped me on the shoulder and said, I've had an idea for a song, do you want to write a song together? And I said, yes, that'd be fun. And it was incredibly fun. And we launched it at the gig you gave us, your club in Doncaster, and absolutely packed ourselves laughing. There are some songs you have to learn not to laugh through. That was one of them.
Yeah.
There are some songs you have to learn not to cry through, which is He Fades Away.
Yes. The knack of getting out of the way of a song is a thing that...
Don't let yourself connect it to a person.
No, God, no.
Or you will end up in
We
shreds.
had a conversation a couple of weeks ago about singing songs at funerals, and the thing that I do with funeral songs is there's a song that I sing it at funerals, and as soon as I've sung it at a funeral, as soon as I can, I go and sing it in a pub. And that helps me have that sort of... You sing the song, you get out of its way, you let it do its job, and then you let the emotions arrive, because it's a fucking funeral.
Yes.
And it's usually for someone you care about. But
often, although Certainly when I sang for my grandmother's funeral.
Yeah. Ooh.
I was absolutely fine until I was stupid enough to look up.
Ah.
And then everyone's sort of sitting there, bawling their eyes out.
Closed, singing.
Right, back to the music.
There is a case for singing with your eyes closed. There really is.
Sing
in
into
that
the
situation.
wall.
Yeah.
So, yes. I'd better do Tinternet.
Go on, Tinternet, yeah.
Internet, as in the internet, dating, for those of you who have been subjected to such things. There comes a time in a single's life when friends are settling down. They're getting married, having kids, they're moving out of town. So what to do to find a mate, to have a go myself? Somebody suggested to internet to climb down off this shelf. I've had a go at Tinder, I've tried my hand at Match. Okay Cupid, don't be stupid, where do I find my catch? I've tried to flirt with Roger, I've battered my eyes at Matt. Ooh, that was a right swipe. I've met every Tom, Dick and Harry. My efforts have all fallen flat. Peter was getting quite desperate, so eHarmony was his game. He answered the questions and surveys, but forgot to put in his name. So Rachel suggested speed dating, but 3 minutes is never enough. It's far too infuriating to sift through the bluster and bluff. I've had a go at Tinder, I've tried my hand at Match. Okay Cupid, don't be stupid, where do I find my catch? I've tried to flirt with Roger, I've battered my eyes at Matt.
Not my name.
I've met every Tom, Dick and Harry. My efforts have all fallen flat. Elite Singles gave Liz a good challenge. She met a young man named Rick. Turns out he quite liked taking photos, which starred his old coin collection. So she turned to LinkedIn for some solace and tried to apply for a job. But Rick was there ready and waiting with plenty more pics of his coins. I've had a go at Tinder, I've tried my hand at Match. Okay Cupid, don't be stupid, where do I find my catch? I've tried to flirt with Roger, I've battered my eyes at Matt. I've met every Tom, Dick and Harry. My efforts have all fallen flat. Elite Singles gave Liz a good challenge. No, I've done that one. Dave checked out Guardian Soulmates, but it turns out he's too cheap to pay. So he stalked his fair maiden on Facebook. But good news, the Bob's on the way. I've thought about Christian connections, but he might not forgive me the lie. I do like to be a good sinner. Oh God, oh Jesus, I cry. I've had a go at Tinder, I've tried my hand at Match. Okay Cupid, don't be stupid, where do I find my catch? I've tried to flirt with Roger, I've battered my eyes at Matt. I've met every Tom, Dick and Harry. My efforts have all fallen flat. So when you're single in your 30s or 40s or 50s or more, I've tried young and old, shy and bold, skinny and fat, enough of that, I've had it, I'm done, no more crap. I've had a go at Tinder, I've tried my hand at Match. Okay Cupid, don't be stupid, where do I find my catch? I've tried to flirt with Roger, I've battered my eyes at Matt. I've met every Tom, Dick and Harry. Oh, fuck it, I'll just get a cat.
For the avoidance of doubt, it was a kitten.
It was a kitten. It was a kitten photo, it's all right.
Just in case.
It was an unsolicited kit pic.
At Steel Songbird's launch gig for their album, we were horrifically late, for which I again apologise. They sang a song that I wrote, Child of the Library. And it was at this point I discovered I don't know any harmonies for it. It was really odd. And then the harmonies that I initially thought of, you two were singing. It's just like, okay, where do I go now? So I'm going to do Child of the Library now.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then we'll work out what happens next.
Okay.
Yeah. And Marilla will. Do you sing the tune usually? So you've got to find a harm. You've got my challenge now. Get in. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. The library's where I've made some friends I've known my whole life through. The Walkers and the Blacketts and the Pevensies so true. Simp the canine, Cannonball, Galadriel the fair, the daughter of a pirate king and Paddington the bear. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. I've travelled south with Shackleton and all his gallant crew, and through the African interior that Mary Kingsley knew. I rode the trackless prairie where bison used to roam. I've flown around the universe not half an hour from home. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. And as I grew, the library fed my curiosity. All there for the asking and all of it for free. It's there I found the stories I couldn't find at home. It's there I learned I was myself and not my father's clone. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. So make friends with your library, don't let it fade away. Teach your kids the library's where they go on Saturdays. Don't let the bastards tell you they will cost too much to save while they're shoveling your taxes down the whole corona made. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. So make a stand for the library, stand up while you can. Stand up for your freedom, stand for your fellow man. Ignorance is never bliss, don't close the library door, for a library lost is lost forevermore. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. I'm a child of the library, it made me who I am. It taught me about freedom and the fellowship of man. A seer's story waits for you behind the library door. Don't say we can't afford it anymore. For a library lost is lost forevermore. Playing chicken with that last note. My God, it's 10:15.
It is.
Are we bored yet? She went down last October in a pouring driving gale. The skipper he'd been drinking and the mate he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was struck a mortal blow. And the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. And there was just us 5 aboard us when she finally was awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave when she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, the owners wrote her off, not a nickel would they spend. She gave 20 years of service, boys, and let her a sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. And they laughed at us and said we had to go. But we talked of her all winter, sometimes around the clock, for she's worth $250,000 afloat at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, that her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. And those who loved her best and who were with her to the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, all spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in a hard hat suit and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we've stopped her rents and patched her vents, dog hatch and port all down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and watch the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, that her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. And those who loved her best and who were with her to the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, just crumble into scale, for she'd saved our lives so many times, living through the gale. And the laughing drunken rats who left her to a sorry grave, they won't be laughing in another hour. And you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken and life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken, your life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again.
A very good song for this time.
No matter what you sacrifice, a cat, a dog, a friend, like the elder god Cthulhu rise again.
Very nice. So this is written by Bex Neal. So we're doing Tinsley pots for you, Mark. And for those of you who are not from England or particularly, South Yorkshire way, Tinsley pots were the cooling towers of a power station just off the M1.
If you've ever driven past Sheffield on the M1 until,
10 years ago now.
10 years ago, 2011, you would see the two cooling towers because they were so close to where the motorway goes in
across the
double deck.
viaduct. Yeah.
And the Tinsley pots were the two big white cooling towers, and
the gates to South Yorkshire.
Absolutely, and they used to be, the whole thing about we used to drive down that way when I was a kid. You'd drive down that way at night, and it was like the gates of hell, but because it was all the foundries were just in the open air.
Right.
So many foundries and so much hot metal
Smoke.
being worked. Yeah.
So yes, I was singing, I think at the Christmas thing, or it was the end of something for Raise the Roof.
Yeah.
In Sheffield, and someone sang this. It happens to be Bex's dad.
Yeah.
Neil, Mr. Neil, and because I have a habit, if I'm doing a gig, which I didn't do tonight because you're recording it anyway, but normally I'll just press record on my phone if I've got a gig, And so because this was done as part of the sing-around, I had it on my phone, recorded, and went, got to the end of it, and Emily and I looked at each other and went, we want to learn that song. So there you go. I just need it. Do you need? You don't need it.
You never know. I might join in with a verse.
Oh, good.
The words.
Oh, excellent.
I can't promise
it right
anything.
then. Is that a good height for you in singings?
Well, if not, it'll force me to sing a better harmony.
Right. So anyway, they were demolished to great chagrin and argument by some people. Industrial vandalism.
Absolutely.
There was something I'm missing this morning, as by the canal I walked round. The breeze it were colder, blowing over my shoulder, for the old Tinsley pots had come down. Come down, come down. The old Tinsley pots had come down. For 70 years they'd been up there, standing 250 foot high. An aesthetic alarm, but not doing no harm, between the horizon and sky. And sky and sky, between the horizon and sky. They opened up Meadowhall car park, and the motorway closed on that day. And thousands joined in as the count did begin, and the pots they awaited their fate. Their fate, their fate. The pots they awaited their fate. The crowd held their breath, it was silent, before one loud crack and a fall. Then a sad distant rumble as the pots took their tumble, but a big concrete finger stood tall. Stood tall, stood tall. A big concrete finger stood tall. 'Twas the North Tower standing for Northern. Take that to your power plant, boys. But one more ignition to complete demolition, and the finger come down with no noise. No noise, no noise. The finger come down with no noise. As the dust settled over the viaduct, the crowd they all cheered, then stopped. They'd been there so long, now their skyline has gone, and we thought of the memories we'd got. We'd got. We thought of the memories we got. We called them the gates to South Yorkshire. No seafront, no big fancy dome. Now we've cancelled our trips on planes and on ships, for fear that we'll never get home. Get home, get home. For fear that we'll never get home. Come down, come down. The old Tinsley pots have come down. Come down, come down. The old Tinsley pots have come down.
That is a brilliant song.
It is. Well
God,
done,
yeah.
Bex.
It stopped the pub, didn't it, when she said when her dad sang it? Oh my God!
It was brilliant.
Brilliant song. Next week we have another guest.
You do?
Yes, it's not in person. She's dialing in from, I think she's in Wales. We have Anne Lister, who is a brilliant singer and songwriter. She wrote, I think the song that most people have heard that she wrote is Icarus, that Nick Jones used to do. And she's a great songwriter, really fine guitarist and singer, and I'm right looking forward to having her on. She wrote a brilliant one that actually I've kind of recommended. I'm not going to get through. Actually, I might do. Let's just see. Let me see. I'm going to cheat if I do this. The internet's wonderful.
It is.
I flew too close to the candle, and I think that my wings are aflame. I should never have flown so close to you. It seems I won't leave again. There should be some kind of warning to those of us who fly by night, to beware of the cold air of morning, and to keep away from the light. Oh, the light that it cast out was gentle, and I'd been far too long in the cold, and all of the dogs seemed lonely, and all of your welcome seemed gold. And there should be some kind of warning to those of us who fly by night, to beware of the cold air of morning, and to keep away from the light. And alone outside of your window, there's just the pale gleam of far distant stars. You could search for heaven forever, but at least you'll be safe where you are. There should be some kind of warning to those of us who fly by night, to beware of the cold air of morning, and to keep away from the light. And that's not even her most famous song.
Lovely.
Isn't that a cracker? So yeah, that's Moth by Anne Lister, who will be my guest.
All right, we're going to do a Richard Thompson and David Swarbrick song that I haven't sung for ages and ages
Brilliant.
and ages and ages. Within the fire and out on the sea, crazy man Michael was walking. He met with a raven with eyes black as coals, and shortly they fell into talking. Your future, I will tell to you. Your future, you often have asked me. Your true love will die by your own right hand, and crazy man Michael will cursed be. Well, Michael, he ranted, and Michael, he raved, and he beat at the four winds with his fist so. He laughed and he cried, he shouted and he swore, for his mad mind had trapped him with a kiss so. You speak with an evil, you speak with a hate, you speak for the devil that haunts me. For is she not the fairest in all the broad land? Your sorcerer's words are to taunt me. He took out his dagger of fire and of steel, and struck down the raven through the heart, oh. The bird fluttered long, and the sky it did spin, and the cold earth did wonder and start, oh. Oh, where is the raven that I struck down dead, that here did lie on the ground, oh? I see but my true love with a wound so red, where her true lover's heart it should pound, oh. Crazy man Michael, he wanders and walks, and he talks to the night and the day, oh. But his eyes, they are sane, and his speech, it is plain, and he longs to be far away, oh. Michael, he whistles the simplest of tunes, and asks the wild winds for pardon, for his true love has flown into every flower grown, and he must be keeper of the garden.
Yay! Sorry for the clicking during all that. Chap, sorry about that. Chap has to order a pizza somehow. Round goes the wheel of fortune, don't be afraid to ride. There's a land of milk and honey waits on the other side. There'll be peace and there'll be plenty, you'll never need to roam when we go rolling home, when we go rolling home. Rolling home when we go rolling home, when we go rolling, rolling when we go rolling home. The gentry in their fine array do prosper night and morn, whilst we unto the fields must go to plough and sow the corn. The rich may steal the power, but the glory's ours alone. When we go rolling home, when we go rolling home. Rolling home when we go rolling home, when we go rolling, rolling when we go rolling home. The summer of resentment, the winter of despair, the journey to contentment is set with trap and snare. Stand true and stand together, your labour is your own. When we go rolling home, when we go rolling home. Rolling home when we go rolling home, when we go rolling, rolling when we go rolling home. The summer of resentment, the winter of despair, the journey to contentment is set with trap and snare. Our hearts fly up to glory, up where the larks do go. When we go rolling home, when we go rolling home. Rolling home when we go rolling home. We go rolling, rolling when we go rolling home. So pass the glass around and let the toast flow free.
Free toast!
Here's a health to every labourer, wherever they may be. Fair wages now and ever, let's reap what we have sown. When we go rolling home, when we go rolling home. Rolling home when we go rolling home, when we go rolling, rolling when we go rolling home. Rolling home when we rolling home. Could you sing something a bit loud and make sure the meters don't go red? Give me that again. Not red there. Fuck, we stopped at the same time.